Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Freshman Spotlight Series, going back to the 2024 class and kind of highlighting some freshmen that I think have a real opportunity to kind of break out year one in their college football careers. We're going to Norman, Oklahoma, and talking about a running back that has really been one of my favorite running backs that's come out of high school over the last couple of years. Four-star running back Taylor Tatum, a guy that it kind of feels flying under the radar because when he committed to Oklahoma, there were no question marks about him flipping late in the process. We have other guys that kind of headline the class, guys like David Stone. And Taylor Tatum's coming in, didn't enroll for spring practice. I think he has not only the ability, but a massive opportunity to kind of assert him in that running back rotation year one for the Oklahoma Sooners. And, kind of how I wanted to highlight Taylor Tatum is two different things. When you're looking at freshmen that are going to play early at the college football level, you look at two different things. One, do they have the physicality to come on as 18-year-old kids and play football in the SEC? What's so fascinating about Taylor Tatum is when we talked about Taylor committing to Oklahoma 12 months ago, he was a little bit more of a slender running back. He's put on some phenomenal weight over the last 12 months. He's coming into Oklahoma's fall camp, 5'10", 205 pounds from a pure physicality standpoint. This kid is ready to play year one as a freshman for Oklahoma. I think secondly, when you're having that conversation about which freshmen are going to get the opportunity to play early, you got to look at the depth chart. And I think this Oklahoma running back room has a lot of potential for a guy like Taylor Tatum to kind of work himself into that rotation where you have Gavin Sawchuk as your running back one heading into 2024. There are no question marks about that. We think Gavin Sawchuk is going to be one of the better running backs in the SEC. That being said, running back two, running back three, guys like Javonte Barnes, it's been kind of a roller coaster during their Oklahoma career. And with a guy like Tawi Walker transferring out, I think Taylor Tatum all of a sudden comes into fall camp with, every opportunity to get involved in this Oklahoma offense relatively early during his college football career. Want to do two different things. One, dive into the film and talk about what Taylor Tatum brings to this Oklahoma offense. I think this is a running back that presses the line of scrimmage extremely well. He's a guy that can get it done out of the backfield as a pass catcher. But I think more importantly, talk about the depth chart and talk about where Taylor Tatum might fit in year one in this running back room. Fired up to get into it. Before we do, and as always, massive shout out to the Oklahoma fans. These are some of my favorite episodes where, 12 months ago, we've talked extensively about these guys. Now they're putting on the pads and helmet, gearing up for this Oklahoma program. It's been a blast talking this program. All the support you guys have shown, it really does mean a lot. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. A couple other Oklahoma freshmen that we're going to be taking a look at over the next couple of weeks. But without further ado, let's get into Taylor Tatum. I first want to just start with how this depth chart shakes out. And again, Gavin Sawchuk, ain't nobody got any question marks about Gavin Sawchuk being the running back one in this Oklahoma offense, where it starts getting, I wouldn't say hairy, but where you start having some question marks is what running back two and running back three is going to look like, where you have a guy in Javonte Barnes where probably 24 months ago, I would have probably projected Javonte Barnes to have been the running back one for this Oklahoma team heading into 2024. Injuries, lack of consistency, just not getting on the field and staying on the field has been a problem for Javonte Barnes. You look at Caleb Hicks, a guy that certainly came on during that spring practice session for Oklahoma, a guy that we think can play in this running back room. But outside of that, I think Taylor Tatum has every ability to kind of work his way in, especially with some of the traits that he brings to the table. I think one, Taylor Tatum as a pass catcher, that's kind of one of the big things that keeps a lot of freshman running backs off the field. Can you do some of the extracurricular stuff extracurricular stuff at the running back room? That's kind of how we'll phrase it, where, yeah, we know you can be a great ball carrier. Can you hold up in pass protection? Can you get it done out of the backfield? That's kind of what keeps a lot of freshmen off the field. Another thing that keeps freshmen off the field is just not attacking the line of scrimmage. A lot of these kids who are the top 100 national prospects at the running back position, they were the best players on the football field at the high school level. And because they were the best football players on the field, they kind of got away with running in a little bit of a different way that doesn't always translate to the SEC level. You look at Taylor Tatum, he was never really an East and West kind of guy. One of the things that always stuck out to the film on me is how well Taylor Tatum pressed and attacked the line of scrimmage. And that's kind of one of the things that a lot of young running backs really struggle with when they get to the college football level. And because Taylor Tatum can press the line of scrimmage, can attack the line of scrimmage, also be a guy that can get it done out of the backfield, he is all of a sudden a running back that I think, one, his game's going to translate to the college football level awfully quickly, but more importantly, he's going to be a guy that's going to be hard to keep off the field as a freshman. You get into some of the senior stuff, and I think one of the things that jumps out is this is a guy that just, one, really, really good feel for the position in terms of navigating traffic and picking his way through traffic. He's got a really good feel as a ball carrier, but more importantly, this is a kid that just attacks the line of scrimmage. You start rolling the film here, Taylor Tatum wants to get downhill. Yes, he's a guy that can outrun people to the boundary, but on the film, I mean, just consistently attacking the line of scrimmage, getting downhill. That's the type of stuff, and that's the type of way you want to run the football to get it to translate to the college football level. Again, attacking the line of scrimmage, picking his way through traffic, the ability to, when these safeties and linebackers take bad angles, he's going to turn on the jets and kind of hit that big play. Now, another thing that sticks out is we're going to see him again attack the line of scrimmage, get downhill. We love all of that, what Taylor Tatum can do. There's some other stuff that you really like. Again, working through traffic, really good contact balance, wants to get downhill. He's got really good feel for the position, right? He wants to attack the line of scrimmage, but when it's not there, he has the ability and feel to bounce it out when necessary. He doesn't rely on bouncing it out and going east and west, but when the opportunity presents itself, he's so comfortable getting out in space and making it happen. He's got really good feel as a running back, and that's something that normally takes running backs a year or two at the college football level to develop. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what Taylor Tatum can do as a pass catcher. Again, you talk about traits that are going to allow you to get on the football field early. It's going to be man coverage against the linebacker. He's just going to run kind of a routine swing route, really comfortable creating separation, really comfortable going up and playing the football. Taylor Tatum, obviously, you guys know, not a former baseball player. He's an elite baseball player. Taylor Tatum's a guy that has really good coordination and really good feel when the football's in the air. Not a lot of freshman running backs have shown that on the high school film. Taylor Tatum has. In fact, they even play him a lot as a split-out wide receiver. That's how good of a pass catcher Taylor Tatum can be. And so you start looking at Taylor Tatum, one of the questions we had was the physicality. I don't think we have those questions because, again, he's up to 5'10", 205. I think the other question that we had was, is his running, is his running style going to translate immediately to the college football level? In Taylor Tatum's case, it does. There's a lot of running backs that are going to need a year or two to kind of develop that downhill part of their game. And Taylor Tatum shows that all over the film. So when you start combining, one, the opportunity to get a lot of reps in fall camp and work his way onto the football field, you combine that with some of the stuff that he does outside of just carrying the football in terms of pass protection and receiving the ball out of the backfield. And then all that combined with, we think Taylor Tatum is just straight up good enough to emerge as a running back that Oklahoma is going to be able to rely on in the 2024 season. You put all those things together, that's kind of the recipe for these true freshmen to get on the football field. Taylor Tatum, a guy I fully expect to get on the football field. Really, really excited to see what he can do during fall camp. One of those players that, I certainly have my eye on in terms of guy emerging during fall camp. We'll cut it there. We got David Stone up next. Again, appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.